There is a fully functional whites-only, straights-only town in the United States in 2025. They call themselves Return to the Land and are a group of about 50 people so far in Arkansas, made up of men, women, and children. They say their goal is to have a white society that goes back to the fundamental white Christian values.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. Return to the land. And it is a town open to white people only.
They're building a whites-only town in the Ozarks. They're building a whites-only town in the Ozarks. America has devolved to the point where now there is a publicly known whites-only town being built. And it's just like, everyone's just okay with it. The craziest part to me is that it's being very publicly promoted as a whites-only town. I think the project's called Return to the Land or something like that. Segregation is back in effect in 2025. What do you guys think about that? Like, segregation is back in 2025. And y'all said Trump wasn't going to bring back segregation. He wasn't going to make America more racist. He's not racist. This wasn't happening under any other president. Well, last I remember, when they were white-only and black-only towns, the black-only towns were so successful that you guys had to burn them to the ground. Good luck doing that this time. Because now that they built a whites-only town, I don't see what's stopping us from making a black-only town. You feel? Only blacks allowed. Our track record shows that we'll be way more successful.
I feel like this might be a hot take about that community in Arkansas, where they're building an all-whites town. No blacks, no Jews, no gays. I sincerely hope it works out, right? Like I hope you all do so well, and I hope more people who think like you move there. I want you guys to segregate and isolate yourselves. I'm sick of having to figure out who does and does not like me simply based off the color of my skin. Knowing that there is a specific town to avoid, that saves me so much trouble in the long run. I wish you all nothing but thoughts, tariffs, prayers, and nothing but the best. Like I'm hoping it truly works out for you guys. And I'm hoping that you all get a lot of like-minded individuals in that town with you, and you can all be successful together. Like I want nothing but the best for you people. I want you to isolate yourselves. I don't want to have to play guessing games about where I should and shouldn't be. Sundown towns, like there are specific towns that I will not drive through between Texas and Louisiana at night, simply because, I'm not sure if I should stop there. That's one place in Arkansas that I know I will never have to go, and I know I should not be there. Keep me out, keep people like me out. I hope it works out for you all.
I 100% agree with this white-only town. I'm in full support of it. And every Black and African creator should be running promotions and supporting this initiative that these white supremacists are doing by creating this town. It's a fantastic idea. Guys, you do not know how happy I was to see this story. I'm like, listen, as many of you guys that want to move to this town, please move there. There are some basic rules and regulations. Please, when you move there, you cannot hire Latino workers. You cannot take African resources. So whatever resources that you're using there, please do not take any resources from Africa. You cannot take Arab oil. So whatever oil you're using to power your cars or your machinery, no more Arab oil. You're not taking any more Arab oil. The cobalt and coltan you're getting from Congo for your phones, and that is no more. Everything you produce in this white supremacist town should be coming from white folks. You cannot get any black people to come and work for you. We're not cleaning your floors. We're not driving your taxis. Indians, you're not getting any Indians to work in stores or whatever. No Indian doctors, none of that. No surgeons. When you get sick, please do not go and look for a Chinese or Asian surgeon to help you out, or African nurses to care for you and your children. That is over with. I love this concept. I love it. Many people do not know their history, and they've been so miseducated. I've said this many times, that the biggest victims of white supremacy are white people, not black people or any other brown person on the planet. White folks, because they've been put into a position where they cannot actually function by themselves. The people who are most scared about this are white, rich people who understand what this could mean if white people start making this a thing. Because they need us to be together and fighting each other. They do not want people to be separating themselves, because they understand that very quickly they will realize the folly of racism and white supremacy.
Hey brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you're watching me from. I'm your host and presenter Jidok Stories. Well, I'm hoping that you are doing great. There's something that I want us to talk about. And I'm seeing white people creating their own white only places. But there is no problem. But here's the catch. Do you think that everything that you want, you'll do it on your own now that you're practicing separation? Because from what I understand, because just recently I saw understand to be educated, I saw white farmers asking black people to come and work on their farms. Do you think that if you start farming today, you'll bring people from other communities to come and work in your own spaces? Think about it, because the moment you separate yourself, you provide an instinct to other people that you don't want them and they also don't want you, and this will create a resentment. And it is natural because it's human nature. When you separate yourself from other group of people, this is what you're trying to tell them, that you can do better than them. And so this has an effect towards them. But let's talk about facts. Maybe those are hypotheses that I'm saying. I want to say that there's something called division of labor and specialization. And this part is really important. This is why I'm saying they, like Ozark and Kansas, all these city whites only places are going to fail. Is that you cannot do these things by your own. Trust me, you need other people. Particularly, I've seen black people provide all these services that you're trying to separate yourself from. This is just a big question that I'm trying to ask. Black people have shown one of the largest purchasing power. Do you think that the separation that you're giving all these folks from the community are going to buy from you? Do you think that you're gonna be it's gonna be profitable, because this is a limited number of people? How's the government gonna be looking at this? Those are the following questions on the allegations of the Kansas City whites only places. I'm your host and presenter, Generic Stories. And for those who are watching us for the first time, what am I telling them? I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership. I really get to see what I can offer you. But until then, let's watch the video. I'll be back with my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this. So buckle up for a good video. I'll be back.
Fully functional whites only, straights only town in the United States in 2025. They call themselves Return to the Land and are a group of about 50 people so far in Arkansas, made up of men, women, and children. They say their goal is to have a white society that goes back to the fundamental white Christian values. In this small town, the men take on the task of building it, and the women take on the task of caring for the homes and the children. When asked about this whites-only project, they claim that it's all out of love and not because they hate any groups of people. They say that in order to protect their children, this was a necessary move to make. And they have supporters across the country. So much so that anytime anyone has a child, they're gifted thousands of dollars from their GoFundMe supporters. I think this is insane. Write a comment below, let me know what you think, and don't forget to follow.
Well, let them build a white-only community in Arkansas. They'll find out. They'll find out how bored they are. I mean, without Mexican, indigenous, black, Asian influences, like, what are they even doing? Like just eating mayonnaise and listening to country music, I guess? Like, I'd be really worried about the kids in that community, though, right? Like, they're going to become the entertainment in an evil sort of way, but other than that, just let them have their experiment. They'll find out.
So I'm going to start by saying that I am not angry at all, or my feelings are not hurt at all about the people who want to make an all-white town and want some to go up all over the country. That is great. I love knowing where not to go, where not to spend my money. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay. And plus, I don't want to be around racists. So it's nice if they collectively put themselves all together and that the rest of decent humanity says, hey, you know what? We're glad you're gone because you're pretty much the whole problem in society anyway. So removing yourselves is really, really good. Okay. That's wonderful. First thing, I want to make sure that no federal dollars are spent in these towns, no federal infrastructure, because federal infrastructure belongs to all of the people. I am part of all of the people. I am Black. And since I am not welcome there, I should not be there. It is a place that is going to be restricted. Anything that is restricted from me does not get federal dollars. So there should be legislation saying that no federal dollars can be spent on this place. Okay? And lastly, once you all get all of your towns in place, please make sure that you keep them little heifers of y'all on lockdown, okay? Because when they go traipsing out to other towns looking for some big Black to get on and to get put on and to back their ass up to, because they go looking for it, don't think you gonna traipse your ass over there and start some shit. There ain't gonna be no more Rosewoods. There ain't gonna be no more Greenwoods, and there ain't gonna be no more motherfucking Tulsas, baby, okay? Because we ain't having that shit. We gonna be Nat Turner Riverboat ready for your ass, okay? Peace out. Enjoy your town.
And we're back with part 2 of ensuring the Great White Migration, also known as Return to Stolen Land, goes exactly as planned. I was in the comments of my last video taking notes like I was getting my PhD in white delusion, because my people, oh, they really brought the receipts. So unfortunately for you, that means we're going to be expanding the list. Because if you're going to be building an all-white utopia, you're going to need to do it without anything created, invented, cultivated, or improved by someone non-white. Why? Because principles, right? Let's get it. Now, this first one is actually a correction, because in my last video, I wished you good luck with your dried potatoes. But it was brought to my attention that potatoes were actually cultivated by the Inca. So, yeah, no potatoes for you. Let's just go ahead and add them next to seasoning and rhythm. Let's keep moving. Number 2, no cotton. How could I have left off cotton? And don't play dumb. You know why. So yes, that means no shirts, no sheets, no fruit of the loom drawers. Y'all better start weaving your own flax with those soft little hands. Next up, we have no washing machines, no dryers. George T. Sampson, a Black inventor, changed the laundry game. So it looks like it's back to river rocks and hand wringing. Hope you like your clothes crunchy. Next up, we have no hot water heaters. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Cold showers only. Might help build character or resentment. Let's find out together. No color TV. Shout out to Mexican engineer Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena. Did I say that right? So unless you're watching static and black and white, you're gonna have to act out Grey's Anatomy yourselves. No doorknobs. No electric elevator doors. No peanut butter. That's right, no PB&J for you. And don't even think about reaching for the hummus, because chickpeas ain't yours either. From now on, it's boiled turnips and unseasoned tears. Now see, in my last video, I already told y'all no more algebra. But after doing a little more digging, it turns out y'all don't get numbers at all. That's right, those digits, Aztec and Arabic origins. So from now on, I guess just go ahead and count your livestock in grunts and stick piles from now on. No video games. Which means no Call of Duty, no Sims, no little survival simulators where y'all build fake communities and still somehow struggle with inclusion. It's crazy. And go ahead and thank Jerry Lawson, a Black inventor, for that. Or don't, since you're opting out. No government infrastructure. No public roads, no post office, no tax-funded anything. If you're leaving society, then leave the benefits that Black, brown, and indigenous tax dollars pay for too. Fair is fair. No microwaves, no traffic lights, no refrigerated trucks, no gas masks, no clothing irons, no toasters. Yikes. Looks like just food poisoning and chaos. Y'all better learn how to live raw and reckless. And lastly, we have no blood banks, no pacemakers, and no home security systems, because safety and survival, those inventions came from Black brilliance too. So when disaster strikes, it's just you, your bootstraps, and that 19th century coping plan. Yeah. So yes, by all means, return to the land. Just make sure that it's with bare hands, bland food, and not a single stolen invention in your knapsack. And before you start hollering in the comments, we didn't steal, we conquered, let's be very clear. There's a big difference between taking something by force and creating something from scratch. You didn't build it, you inherited it, or borrowed it, or straight up stole it. It's not that nothing came from whiteness. It's just that almost everything you built relied on the brilliance, the labor, and the knowledge of others first. And if you really think you can rebuild without Black, brown, or indigenous brilliance, well, let's see how that works out for you.
and they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
So for these whites-only communities that are starting in Arkansas and Missouri, when you say no blacks allowed, that's fine, but just make sure that it also includes black inventions. So a couple of things that I don't want to see in these white-only communities. If you're going to have a house, no home security system, okay? Just get you a German Shepherd and have him protect y'all. No home security system, okay? That was a black invention. Only stop signs in the white-only communities. I don't want to see no traffic lights. Black man came up with that. Only stop signs for you guys. I don't want to see your little racist children playing with super soakers or eating peanut butter. Black and black, okay? Jelly sandwiches for your little racist kids. Only jelly, no peanut butter. No potato chips. I don't give it. You better pack celery in they damn lunch bags. No potato chips. If you need to dry your clothes, use a clothesline, okay? You are not allowed to use a clothes dryer. That is a black invention. If there's a fire, a bucket and some water, that's what you're allowed to use because the fire extinguisher was invented by a black man. If you have your little racist cookouts, no folding chairs. Sit your ass on the ground. Summertime. Don't want to see any AC units. Go to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, get you a good fan. No AC units in the whites only community. If you go play golf with your little racist buddies, you better hit that bitch off the ground. You are not allowed to use golf tees. Black invention. If you're riding a horse, you want to go get your little racist horse and go on a little racist ride, you are not allowed to use a saddle. Sit your ass on that horse bareback, and I hope your nuts hurt. If you need to iron your clothes, iron them shits on the bed or on the floor. You are not allowed to use an ironing board. For all doors, they better be push and pull. You are not allowed to have a doorknob. Black invention. If you need to do something with your hair, comb it. You are not allowed to use a hairbrush. That is a black invention. You spill some on the floor, get you some good high absorbent paper towels and wipe that shit up. You are not allowed to use a mop. That is a black invention. And how about this? You're not allowed to wear shoes. You better find a good pair of sandals. Shoes, the modern day shoe technology was invented by a black man. That's right, I said it. And when you eat your little racist dinner at night, eat that on newspaper on the floor because you're not allowed to eat at the kitchen table, which is also a black invention. So enjoy your white communities. Just be in mind that if you don't want blacks there, make sure you don't have black shit there either.
Have y'all heard about that town that they are building? I want to say it's in Arkansas. That's a whites only town. Really? In 2025, these folks are allowed to build a whites only town. Now, obviously, they're not classifying it as a town. It's more like an association. That's why even thus far they have been able to do it. So there's articles and everything out about if it's going to be able to beat the law in every capacity where they can really have this where no other groups of people can get in. Now they're explaining it as maintaining white culture, and that's it. And what exactly is that anyway? That's the question that popped into my mind the first time I heard it. Like, okay, what is white culture? So I would like for somebody to answer that for me, and drop down in the comments how you feel about that. Like, keep in mind, when we had black only towns, they were bombed, they were demolished, they were sunk underwater. So it's like, what's really going on? What's the difference in that and this? But the difference was, and this is just based off of historic knowledge, they just didn't want us with our own things, okay? That's what it boiled down to. They just didn't want us to have our own. Versus it being, they're really saying nobody else can get into this place. Who wants to be up in Arkansas in the mountains anyway? But that's not the point. Drop down in the comments, y'all. This is crazy.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. Return to the land. And it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z. And this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
Control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down.
But they are being kept out.
You don't let everyone into your home.
You want to live by yourself and you want to protect your own community, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's when you want to do that when it's on other people's land, during when other ethnicities want to do that, eat Black Wall Street, or still go into their place and police it, higher incarceration rate, put things into their community, such as drugs, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be a part of that community, but I still want to know what they're doing. Preserve your race. Well, maybe the blacks want to preserve their race. And if you're really about, hey, we want to do our own thing, well, give them all their land back. That goes for indigenous, that goes for the African nation, that goes for all these nations. Give them their land back, give them all the interest back, and give them all the resources you've taken and you benefited to make your country. If you're really about, hey, we just want to be about ourselves and do our own thing, prove it. Because at the moment, you're just talk.
You're absolutely right. Whites-only towns back in the day were what we called sundown towns. So a sundown town were towns where black people knew not to be caught after dark. Not because we didn't want to be there, but because it wasn't safe. That wasn't a suggestion. That was a survival rule. So now here we are in 2025, and y'all think y'all invented something new with an all-white town in Arkansas? No, baby, this is a remix. And the wild part, honestly, for me, the system is set up to benefit whites in America, yet they still felt like they needed a whites-only town to be able to feel like they're prospering. Think about it. How mediocre do you have to be when the whole deck is stacked in your favor and you still like, nope, we still got to create an environment that we can win? That tells me you know you can't compete in the real world, even when you know the rules are written to help you. And y'all call it a safe space, but let's be honest, a safe space for who? Because black people in America, we never had the luxury of creating a safe space in which we could keep it to ourselves without white America coming in and totally destroying it. Meanwhile, you're out here begging for media coverage to show off your gated bubble. So yeah, sundown towns have always existed, and we know their history. The difference now is we're not scared. We're not running, and we're not going to lose no sleep over it. If that's the space you need to feel relevant, go ahead. Because here's the truth. Black people don't care about being in your little sundown sequel. We care about making sure our communities get what they deserve. And that's something no sundown town can stop.
I've made it a talking topic because I'm monetized. What I'm actually confused about is why, as a people, we insist on policing other black women. If you don't want to talk about a topic, guess what you can do? And I'm truly not trying to be antagonistic. You could scroll, you could block, you could just not comment. But as a people, I really want us to sit with this idea that we are not a monolith and we are capable of doing multiple things at one time. Like there can be a group of us that are sitting out a protest. There can also be a group of us that never stop going to Target. There can be a group of us who are going to the protest. It can all exist under the same umbrella of blackness, and it can still all be valid. But I also want to drive the point home that any black person that's having this conversation on this platform or another is not actually stopping anything. A conversation doesn't stop white people from doing anything they want to do because we live in a white supremacist society. And maybe there's space for you to question why you think me as a black woman having a conversation is inappropriate, should be hushed. I find that interesting. Or more to the point, maybe it would make more sense for you to ask me, what do I think? Because nobody has asked me that. In the thousands of comments, nobody's asked me, well, what do you think? Because I actually love that for them. I'm a believer in separate but equal. It's the equal that's never panned out. Black people thrive when we're by ourselves. And it's only never worked because white people always show up and bomb it to hell, colonize it to hell, burn it to hell. So yeah, I think this is weird, Tiff. You know, go off. At the very least, I did ask at the end to tell me what you think. I appreciate that.
I need y'all to understand that those people do not intend to leave us alone in their little town in Arkansas. It's recently been in the news that some chalk children in America have decided to create their own whites-only town. And when asked by a reporter, they made it seem as though that they intend to just have a town of their own and resources of their own and just live off the land, returning to the land. A land that they stole through crimes against humanity, but who's counting? Many brothers and sisters' take on this is, hey, we don't care if y'all have your own, just leave us alone in the process. I mean, every time we've tried to do that, y'all have burned our towns down. And I'm just here to tell y'all that unfortunately, they do not intend to leave us alone. In the interview with the colonizer that wants to found this whites-only town in Arkansas, they're making it seem as though they just want to live in peace. We must remember that these are people that have never known peace. They didn't know peace when they was by themselves in the ice-cold mountains of Europe, and they're not going to know peace in the middle of Arkansas. In the 70s, there was a black scholar that broke down white supremacy into an equation. The same way that E equals MC squared, white supremacy equals white power over non-white powerlessness. And so that means that white supremacy cannot live in an environment where non-white people have any form of power. Because if there's no non-white people around, who are they superior to? Nothing they have achieved has been achieved by leaving people alone. It's like if your son or daughter said they didn't want to live in the house anymore and locked themselves in their room. In order to eat, brush their teeth, or do anything, that child would have to come outside the room. And it's the same thing for them. At some point, they are going to need resources and labor, and that's when they turn to us. And if we have our own power and our own resources, then we have no reason to share with them. And that is when they destroy what we have so that we have to work with them. Don't be fooled. Just like the movie Sinners, it all starts out nice and pleasant, but they have ulterior motives.
So I just found out that white people are making their own town, and in Arkansas at that. And then somebody made a video saying that black people are mad, but honey, we are not mad. We don't care. And it's in Arkansas. I never thought about going to Arkansas. No tea, no shade for the people that lives in Arkansas, but never thought about living there or visiting. And why y'all trying to make your own town when y'all have sundown towns already, where y'all don't even want black people to go, and y'all murder them when it get dark? Like, make it make sense. And how much you wanna bet if black people was to do that again? We have our own town, we make our own money, banks, stores thriving as they did back in the day, and y'all were mad, so y'all burned it down. Literally, y'all would be even more mad today if we did that. Let's keep it a bean and let's keep it a buck. Y'all would. But I wouldn't mind all the racist people to leave, cause bye. Like, we supposed to be mad. We're not mad. Go.
Well, I hear tale of an all-white town being built up there in the Ozark Hills in Arkansas somewhere, and let me be one of the first to tell you guys, I support it. Yep. I see nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with a group of people wanting to live around people that look like them. And I support it. Matter of fact, I want you guys the best. In fact, I want you guys to flourish and grow. I want you to bump up from that measly 50 to 60 population you got right now. And I want you guys to bump up to like 2,000, 3,000, hell, even 4,000 strong, right? I want you guys to really build your own system, like have your own banking system. And I want you guys to have your own schools and hell, maybe even have your own like water treatment system, you know? And I really want you guys to grow into your own thing, you know, until you get destroyed. Huh? Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know any time a group of people that want to live around people that look like them, they get destroyed. Yeah. Either they get destroyed politically, like they'll make up a bunch of rules why you can't be there and make your life a living hell, or you'll get destroyed brutally. Like they'll either send some troops in there to destroy you, wipe you out, you know, or it'll be a small group of people that's got the same idea for the government, and they'll go ahead and destroy you for them. and they're not going to go to jail, nothing like that. You know, yeah. I'm excited for you guys, you know, because we've done this several times to, you know, other people. You know what I mean? So it's only right that we do it to you guys too, you know. We don't want anyone to think that we're racist. You know, we can't have that. But don't worry, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna come in there and kill women and children, stuff like that. And they're gonna burn the whole town down to the ground. Burn it to a crisp. Destroy everything, kill everybody. And they're gonna flood the town. They're gonna flood the entire town, but don't worry. They're gonna build a nice park around it, like a national park around it or something. You know, so people can come take pictures of it, you know, of the park and stuff. Now, it's not gonna be called what the town was called. We're gonna forget the town. The town's gonna be buried in the water. And then we're gonna move on with our lives, you know. And you guys can keep doing that a couple times, you know, keep on doing it. But it's gonna keep on getting destroyed, you know, making parks. So, yeah, I'm so excited for you guys, right? Good for you.
And the reason why that whites only community that they have in Arkansas and it's now going to Missouri does not surprise me, because I know about sundown towns. Yeah, they do exist. I just seen a video of a lady talking about the state of Oregon, and she just realized it's a sundown state. Not a town, but a state. Less than 2% of its population are black people. So yeah. Now the rules and laws of these whites only cities or towns that they're building is that all of the women have to stay home and take care of the children in the community collectively while the men go to work. This is probably going to open the door for some weird ass shit, I promise you. I'm almost positive that they're going to have their own little rules. They're going to be marrying off girls at young ages or whatever with girls at young ages. They're going to push younger girls to be fruitful and whatnot because they don't want them to go to school. They probably won't be going to public school. They probably will have them homeschooled just so they could keep their traditional lives. And now I just wish the sundown towns would announce themselves as well. Just say it. Just admit that you're a sundown town, because it's not all right when a black person is traveling or a person of color is traveling in the wee hours of the morning or the night trying to get from point A to point Z, but they have to travel through point B, C, D, and E, but they never get there because they're at a sundown town. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really couldn't care less. And I understand the ramifications that because it's going to go to court, if the courts approve this could just pop up everywhere. But again, we have sundown towns. They already exist.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great. It is a beautiful day that God has granted unto us, and I think we all need to discuss about this issue. There's this crazy stuff that is going on, and I think it's important for us to ever talk about it. I'm not against separation. Maybe it's for the good, or maybe it's not for the good. But the way you're only trying to make it is that it's a white-only place. And this has a significant implication towards your growth as these cities. Remember, you cannot provide all these services for yourself. This means that you'll need to fetch other people from outside to come and work for you. As I said, and I'll stress it again, that those amount of money that you people cannot work for, that other communities might be willing to work for. What does this mean? This means that you are going to be bringing other communities to stay with you so that they can provide all these services, which means that whites only state cannot be self-sufficient. And it means that you cannot be alone. It means that you need other group of people to come and help you develop this stuff that you call a whites only place. So it's never going to work. It's more than impossible. There is a part that says, and I think I've seen this a couple of times, that we are already having successful whites only place. While that might be true, the thing is this: it's only white place by name, but the operations that are happening in these places, they need help from outside. They need support from outside. And that's why terming it as a white-only place, I mean, it can't work like that. At least they could be smart like all those sundown towns that are specifically for white folks, but they don't allow black people at certain times, especially in the evening. But during the day, you can do your business. They can employ you. you can do anything, but when it comes in the evening, you gotta run and do anything. I think they're making an excuse for a sundown town rather than a whites only place, because the existence of whites only place, it's impossible without other groups of people. So it doesn't make a damn sense when they come out and say that this is a white only place, and we are only going to be operating as a white place because we've decided to be conservatives. We've decided to live the traditional life. We've decided that we are going to embrace the traditional things that should happen, and we should not bring other group of people. Right? We should not bring other group of people that will dilute our belief systems, that will dilute our culture and everything that we ever thought that it is right than being conservative. And so having just a white itself community, probably culturally, it's almost impossible. Because look, when you look at the United States history, white folks and black folks, we have seen a lot of white people borrow from black community and also other communities. When you talk about culture, when you talk about music, when you talk about rap, when you talk about soul, when you talk about blues and jazz, all these were black thing, people. Country, not forgetting. And white folks came and took it away and made it look like it's theirs. And it made it look like black people are the ones who borrowed it from them. And this is just a question from a critical point. Now that you're coming with your own states, are you ready to also come up with something of your own that you haven't borrowed from any other group of people, right? Because you need to be accountable. Trying to be partially accountable is not right. Trying to be right when it's only right on your face is not right. And that's how revisionist histories have always happened. And so this is just a question. Honestly, I think these white-only towns have already failed even before they have started. And so it's really important to think about that in that line. I really don't know what to think about this. Maybe I'm just going to be asking you, what do you think? Are we, supposed to do? What do you think is right about this? Do you think they're going to be making it? Or do you think they're not going to be making it? Kindly let me know in the comment section. I want your responses in regards to this. As you know, again, I'm your host and presenter, H2 Stories. But until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.